Welcome back to the Overguard Podcast. It's your host, Brett. I'm here with my co-host, Mike.
Hey, everyone.
And we have two guests joining us this week, two tournament winners in our past weekend. Why don't you introduce yourselves, guys?
So I'm DieClan. I'm captain of Team Synergy, and I play Reinhardt.
Hey guys, I'm DPro. I'm a tracer main, and for Team Synergy.
So these two just won our Kontrol Freek and Battlefy tournament this past weekend after getting eliminated pretty early in our previous one. So that was definitely something you guys were pretty excited about. A lot of flashy plays from DPro. If you watch the VOD, you'll basically see me screaming about him the entire stream. But other than that, it was a great tournament. We'll get into that in a second, and we're going to pick these guys' brains about the tournament and about some of the teams that competed in it. But I actually want to spend some airtime discussing how the schedule works this season, because I think a lot of teams are a little bit confused on the way we're handling it, because it's a big change from the way it's always been. So we have our schedule, which you can find pinned basically everywhere in the Discord and on the Twitter. And you'll see at the bottom of the Google Sheet a on and off stream schedule. The on-stream matches start come week 3, so not this weekend coming up, but the weekend after, because this weekend coming up is another Xbox tournament. And those matches are the ones that have set times. The stream starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, and matches have set times depending on the order you are put there. But your off-stream matches are the matches that you need to have played by the due date next to them. So that's between the captains to get together, schedule the time, report the score. You set up your own custom lobby. If you want to use OW Draft, you're more than welcome to. If you want to agree on maps to save some time, that's fine by us too. Either way, just make sure the maps are played, they're agreed on, and then you report the score to one of the admins. We'll get it updated on the standings, and as long as it's in by the date that it's due, you'll be all set to go. I also want to talk about our subs change. So this season we are not doing listed subs and roster locks. You get your 6 main starters. At the end of the season, you need to finish with at least 3 of those main starters on your roster, but any given week you're allowed to use any sub you want as long as that sub hasn't subbed for another team. Once you sub for another team, you're locked to that team until the team has played 4 league matches. So if I sub for DieClan's team, I can't play for a different team until DieClan plays 4 matches. Not that I would ever sub for DieClan's team. But that's how that works. It's pretty simple, guys. We're trying to open up the rosters, make it a little more flexible for you. All right, so enough about that. Let's get into what happened this weekend. So you guys lost last time. Let's just be straight out there with it. Just be honest. You guys lost to Cactus Flower Kids pretty early. I don't think anyone was expecting you guys to lose that match. You were a pretty good seed. What were you guys thinking? DieClan, why don't you go first and tell me what you were thinking? Well, actually, DPro, you weren't on that team.
Yeah, I just joined a month ago.
Yeah, you won. You won both. We have a totally different conversation for you. DieClan, what were you thinking after you guys lost to Cactus Flower Kids? What were the conversations in the Synergy party?
I was pretty shocked, to be honest. I didn't expect to lose, honestly, but we did. And we were just all shocked, and we didn't know what to do. And we were deciding what we would do, and we were thinking about roster changes and everything, and who would we pick up to make our roster as strong as possible. And after that's when we picked up DPro and Lenny.
So you were watching the stream after being shook up by losing the Cactus Flower Kids, and you watched DPro just destroy all the way to the finals on the Tracer first Triadum. DPro, when did Evan approach you about subbing in for them in that last tournament?
I subbed in. He right after we finished the tournament, he invited me to the party and just asked me to sub in. I kind of wanted a starter position, so yeah, DieClan sent me a message and I joined them. I knew they were all good players and they just needed to fix up their team composition, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you played really, really well, obviously, for Triad, and just they already had Shadow, who's their Tracer main.
Yeah.
So stepping in for Synergy, I mean, that's a great spot for you to plug in. So you're the only player currently on PS4 to have won 2 Kontrol Freek and Battlefy tournaments. How's that make you feel?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. gets double Kontrol Freek rewards, I'm gonna give him
he's
some
rolling in the
praise.
gear.
Absolutely. 2 different teams, 2 different championships. So then you guys are coming into this tournament, obviously, and you had some time to practice as a team because I know you officially joined Synergy a few weeks, basically right after the last tournament. So you had some time to practice. What were you guys thinking as a team? What were you saying? What were you doing in practices to try to make sure that you could come into this tournament as strong as possible?
We actually scrimmed like 5 to 6 times a week for like an hour and a half. Like we scrimmed a whole bunch. And the day before the tournament, we scrimmed Stratum, and it didn't really go too well at all, to be honest. It wasn't doing. We all got kind of mad, but the day of the tournament, you know, we got some good sleep, rested up, and warmed up, and we just played the best. And also, when DPro was on Evan's team, we didn't like just choose him because he was good. Like Golden and I knew who he was before he was on Striatum, and like we played comp with him multiple times before, so we didn't just pick him up just because he was on Striatum.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, when you're top 5 in there, whatever you were in SR on the leaderboards, people are going to know who you are, no matter what team you play on. So a lot of practice coming into it. And you said you lost to Stratum in scrims the night before, so how did you guys kind of take that out of your mind and focus on how to beat them in the tournament, because that's who you matched up against in the semifinals?
One of our main things was just to not get mad and just play as good as we can. We were really thinking about how to counter Pharmacy, what we were going to do, so we put a lot of thought process in that and just not tilting.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are definitely blessed by having some very talented hit scan players on your team, and then that kind of allows for DPro, I think, to do his thing in the back lines. What kind of opportunities are you looking for, DPro? Not your Tracer Bomb, obviously, because you had some pretty flashy plays with that. But what kind of opportunities are you looking for picks or for advantages for your team when you're backlining like you do with that Tracer?
Usually when I'm backlining, I just one clip support and get out of there, and hopefully I kill them, pretty much.
So you're just aiming for the supports. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Trying to get a quick pick, give your team the advantage. And some new comps coming out of some of your players. I mean, obviously very talented players on your team with the ability to flex. So it's not a surprise, but Golden Bullet, who I mean has always kind of been a skirmish DPS kind of player, we saw him actually come out on the Zarya and was doing a really good job at it. What can you say about the way Golden Bullet stepped up? Was that something you guys have been practicing? Was that something that was kind of last minute decision for this tournament?
Oh, I've always known that he could play Zarya. That's before like I had the team and everything, and I was like choose people who would I want on my team. I saw Golden, and he was a really good Genji. I also wanted to make sure that he could flex, and I saw that as second best character is Zarya. So he's been playing Zarya for a long time. He's actually really, really good at Zarya.
Yeah, definitely helped the team comp quite a bit because it allowed for you guys to run that hit scan to counter Evan and for DPro to stay on the Tracer. And then Reinhardt obviously being something that now, more so than ever, is kind of being thought about where he stands in the meta. I mean, he's always kind of been a backbone. We'll actually kind of now work our way into this meta talk while we're talking about your team. We'll come back to the tournament after. Where do you feel Reinhardt is right now, DieClan? Do you think he's still auto-pick or situational? On
payloads and like soul maps, I think he's auto-pick, even though I don't like playing Ryan anymore. Like I want to play Diva, but I can't. Because I can't flex apparently, but I guess I do enjoy playing Ryan a bit. But on King of the Hill, I mean, I'm not always gonna be feeling Reinhardt. Like Diva's a really good choice, and she's really strong than before.
Yeah, I agree with that too. That's who I've been picking up as well. I usually play Reinhardt a lot as well, and Diva has definitely been taking over my time more. She's being utilized way more than what Reinhardt can. His shield is pretty much useless at this point for most of the game, and he kind of just gets taken out if the team focuses on him, if the healing's not being run right, and if you're not running with the team and all that and stuff like that. But Diva's definitely getting more playtime from me too.
I think it's the just the amount of damage that's being put on the shields right now. If you don't, with the Soldier, with the Divas, maybe a Roadhog, it just seems like if you're not running a Diva to help with that Rein shield at least, the shield's not going to last long. And I think a lot of Reinhardts are finding that, where they used to be able to hold that shield up for 15, 20 seconds before they had to think about taking it down, now it's like 7, 8 seconds, and they're getting caught in situations where, they're getting hooked because their shield breaks and they're not used to it and they're getting hooked and the team fight is swinging. So, DieClan, you're more of an aggressive Reinhardt. From what I remember and from what I've seen, correct me if I'm wrong, do you consider yourself aggressive?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can be. I like to shield my team a lot, but like you said, people are running triple tank now with Diva, Roadhog, and Soldier, and my shield just gone every 2 seconds. It's really annoying. So that's when I would play a little more aggressive.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that the meta still kind of caters to a more aggressive Reinhardt. But if you're a passive Reinhardt, you really need to make sure you keep yourself in a safe situation. This is what I see. I don't play the character. DPro. So you're flanking behind the team, and you got to go. There's either a Diva or a Reinhardt that sees you. Which would you rather see as a tracer?
I'd rather see the Reinhardt.
So you'd rather farm the Reinhardt?
Yeah, he's pretty easy to farm.
Whereas a Diva's D-Matrix, and I think the mobility is what makes it a little bit more difficult for a Tracer. Where do you feel Tracer fits in the current meta? I mean, obviously you play quite a bit of her.
Yeah. I actually just started Tracer a month ago. So from what I know, not too many people play Tracer, so several teams don't really know how to handle her. So she's pretty powerful.
How would you say to handle her? Give us the secret. What's the secret to handling a Tracer?
No secret. No secret.
Yeah, no secrets.
Don't tell the secret.
Can't let those out.
All right, well, maybe next time we'll be able to get that out of you.
Keyword, Supreme Errands.
Supreme Errands. So you're talking about a McCree or a Soldier to some hit scan to put some damage in there. I got you. I won't tell anyone. This stays between you and me. I won't tell anyone. Don't worry. So what about Sombra? Have you played any Sombra DPro?
No, not really. I was actually a Reaper main for I got 300 hours as him. So yeah.
All right. Well, I was just wondering where you thought Sombra stood. How about you, DieClan? I'm sure you messed around and played some Sombra. What do you think about Sombra?
No, I can't aim, so I don't play Sombra. But Golden played some Sombra, and we tried her in scrims when she first came out, but it just really wasn't working that well. So we kind of ditched that.
We have this ongoing thing here on the podcast where everyone tries to tell me Sombra's good, and I still stand there and say she's bad.
Yeah. You can tell Brett any character's good, and he'll find a way to tell you that they're bad.
No, Lucio's great. Lucio is great. Lucio needs to be buffed.
Lucio does need to be buffed. I don't know why they keep nerfing all the characters that don't need to be nerfed, like Symmetra and Lucio.
Even with Lucio's current nerf, he's still being played in 99.5% of comp matches. That's what they're trying to lower. They want to lower that down to where it's similar to other support heroes, and it sucks because he's so important. But
just release a better support hero that has AoE healing. There you go. That will solve that issue.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we'll see what they do. What do you guys think about the current meta we are in right now in Overwatch? Just all the most recent buffs and nerfs, whether it be the ultimate charge, the Soldier. What else did we get? I mean, Diva. What do you guys think about the current meta? Do you like it? Not a fan?
I like it. I think it's pretty good. I think Soldier's a little too overpowered in my opinion. Yeah, a little bit too much above. But Diva got a great buff to make her a more valuable pick for tanks instead of just Zarya and Reinhardt all the time.
Yeah, I agree. DPro?
Yeah, I agree with DieClan. Soldier's really... I really think he's overpowered right now. He can insta-kill several characters.
Yeah, and I mean, with how good nano tac is right now, Soldiers are just melting people. I mean, that's almost... You might as well just disengage when you hear the tac visor nano, because that's basically a team wipe on its own. I do think with Diva getting better, it has now made Roadhog an even better pick, just because of the amount of damage he can put out, and if you hook the Diva, the D-Matrix is down for a little while. Basically get her out of mech if there's a Discord on her. So I think that we're seeing a lot more Roadhog now, and a good Roadhog is very valuable. Almost to the point where I think most teams are running either Zarya or Roadhog, and that's kind of adding that triple tank. Do you like the triple tank meta, or are you more a fan of the 2-2-2?
I'm a fan of 2-2-2. I hate triple tank.
So you don't like this triple tank, and that's coming from a tank player, so that's interesting. What about triple tank don't you like?
Well, just with our comp, it's kind of hard to deal with it.
Right. DPro?
As Tracer, I don't really like triple tanks since they've got a lot of health, and it's really hard for Tracer to get picks against triple tanks. 2-2-2, I like that a lot better. It's like way a decent amount of damage, decent amount of health, and good support.
Yeah, I think 2-2-2 is pretty good. I think triple tank can be pretty deadly sometimes, though. Like you guys are saying, like it's hard to deal with, but when you're on that end, putting it out like that, it's pretty nice actually sometimes. But yeah, it's definitely in a place where it's hard to counter, but it's hard not to go that way when it feels like the rest of the team's going that way too.
Yeah, I completely agree. I love triple tank, 1 DPS double support. I think it's great. Major fan of it. Just have to figure out what triple tank works the best for your team. But I mean, Ryan D.Va Hog I think is broken right now. Or replace the Hog with a Zarya if you don't have a Hog that can land lots of hooks. But
I don't know, that Winston, he's with like Sombra being released and Symmetra kind of getting that buff, he's being utilized more than ever.
Dive comps are great. Big fan of dive comps. Just you need the players, I think, around it to make sure you can do that. If you have a Genji or Tracer that can put out damage, yeah, dive comp makes sense.
All
right. Let's get back into the tournament. Let's talk about the teams you guys played. Let's talk about the league. Let's talk about some other teams. So, going through the tournament, what you guys beat Eminent in the finals. That's Z Wild Tiger is the captain of their team. What do you think about their team? What were you thinking when you knew you had to go against them in the finals? Was there a certain player on the team you were highlighting?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
PR Joker.
The man PR Joker. Tell me about PR Joker.
He doesn't miss. His positioning is crazy and he just doesn't miss.
For those of you that don't know, PR Joker is a hit scan player for Team Eminent. Plays McCree and Soldier. I think he even pulled out the Tracer a little bit because I think he was getting sick of DPro going off. So what were you guys trying to do to deal with PR Joker? Was there anything you were trying to do?
I guess we just kind of let DPro handle him.
DPro, how are you handling him?
I bait out his flash grenade and then I just melt him, pretty much.
Yeah, but he can be an issue if you let him go off. I mean, I've seen him chain 8, 9, 10 shots in a row, just neck above, just hitting people. So yeah, this is obviously a team that you played in the OGCC before. So was there anything in particular you knew about their team before coming into this match?
No, we never scrimmed or played him in the OGCC before.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you actually mentioned that on stream afterwards. So, completely brand new team. You go into that match, I think you guys 3-0'd them, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think they pulled off a couple big upsets. I know there was a couple upsets on that bottom tier of the bracket. So, wasn't as close of a match as I think it could have been, but you guys did come out and win that one. How about the match against Striatum? That was a sweaty match.
Oh, yeah. That was crazy. We were all just calling out, logging, yelling like usual. We were all just playing our best. And on Volskaya at the end when Colossus like DC'd or something, he wasn't moving or something happened. And we just took complete advantage of that and we just ended up winning the map. Yeah,
you guys played very, very strongly. DPro, was there any like added energy, or did you want to win that match against Striatum even more just because you played with them last tournament?
Yeah, pretty much. Evan was a big problem for us, and he kept trying to just insta-kill me with his rockets. So yeah, I pretty much dodged him the whole game. It was pretty tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's a luxury.
Poor Aaron's.
Go ahead.
Poor Aaron's, man. He was having the hardest time. He was getting so mad because Evan would always target him super hard or solo him, And Aaron's couldn't really do much until Volskaya. And Volskaya was just popping off, and he made Evan switch off to Pharah.
Yeah, Evan did come out on Genji, didn't he?
Yeah, he played a Roadhog.
Oh, that's right. Roadhog. Yeah, that was obviously a very good match. So do you think that win and this win of the tournament is a statement that Synergy is a team to beat in the upcoming Premier League?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound
Don't
very
sound so
confident.
sure.
Yeah. Give me your predictions. Where do you think Synergy stands in the Premier League this season?
I'm pretty. I don't know. I guess I would put us top 5.
Top 5?
Yeah, top 3. I don't know. Somewhere around there.
So you don't want to be too cocky. I see what you're saying. DPro,
He's trying to be modest.
Yeah, give me a cocky answer. Where is Team Synergy gonna land?
Number 1.
There we go.
That's what I like. Now let's see you guys back it up. I mean, hey, you beat some of the best teams this weekend. I wouldn't be surprised. I think you guys have the talent to do so. Name a team to me that you think maybe not many people are talking about, but they have the talent. In late season, you could see them in the playoffs. DieClan, why don't you go first?
Her champion.
Her champion. So that's a team, obviously, they've been around for a while. What about her champion do you think stands out that gives them the opportunity to squeeze into the playoffs? Or not squeeze into the playoffs, but be a threat.
They have a really good roster now. They actually picked up KillaKon. And he's playing like off-tank and soldier for them, I'm pretty sure. And in the tournament, they're actually playing with 2 subs. They're playing with Shoji, he's a sub, and Stalker Man. And they still went really far in. I think with their main roster, they maybe could have beat Imminent, and we could have played them in the finals. Which I was really hoping for, because I love everyone on her champion. They're all good friends with all of them. I was really hoping to play them in the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a team they've been around for a long time. They were in the Final Four in the most recent tournament, and I think they were really looking for a statement event, or if that's what you want to call it. But I mean, they've been a team that's been floating around the top of every season. Top 4, top 3, top 5, whatever it may be. And then it kind of seems like the wheels came off last season towards the end. They were very dominant early. But I think the addition of Sauce and K-Slims, they're definitely a team to watch out for. Obviously, Cabran, Rezi, Roddy, and Primera are very talented as well. So when you add that 6 together, Trill off the bench, very talented team, and I would not be surprised. DPro, you haven't been around the Overguard as long as DieClan, but I'm sure you still know all these players. Can you think of a different team besides her champion that could be a sleeper come playoff time?
Carnage Gaming, I think. They used to be called Revival Gaming. Yep. They're a pretty good team, and they have the potential to get to the top.
So that's Ryan AM, WCG Rev, Swaglord. Who are we missing there? Doodlebob, Ninja Alex, and we're missing 1 support.
Mr. I'm Not Optic.
Yeah, Mr. I'm Not Optic. There's the roster. They're obviously very deep. They were in the Elite 8, and that's the team that we had Sound Barrier Gate against.
Oh, yeah. That was a fun little thing that happened.
Just saying, that was not a visual glitch. They actually had that house.
Oh, I know. So I had never heard of it before in my life. So when I saw it, I was just immediately thought that there's no way that's a thing. Never heard of that. Guys, everyone calm down. Let's try them on the map. And then I was like, you know what? Wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I didn't at least Google this. Vex and I got in voice chat, and we were like, what is going on? We told Gozy to
chat was blowing up, too.
Oh, so. Yeah. I was getting a lot of hate. We told Gozy to stall, and we did some Googling, and we found 3 or 4 videos where it happened. And I was like, we rewatched our video, and we were like, yeah, that was real. So we told the captains what had to be done, and we replayed the map. It sucks. It really sucks when something like that happens, because it's not the player's fault. And, for all we know, Striatum would have actually closed that map out, or for all we know, Carnage would have won it fair and square. Carnage did end up winning the second one, but Striatum came back and won the next 2 maps to close out the series. But those are the things that suck about running a league like this, is because when something happens that's out of our control, and we have to do something to maintain fairness, someone's always going to be upset. So appreciate the level of understanding from all the community, from the teams involved, especially Striatum, who came out on the bad side of that map. But, you know, we make strides to make sure we're as fair as possible every week. So, yeah, back to the main point, Carnage, obviously a very talented team. Would not be surprised to see them late in the season as well. Out of the teams that you guys played in the tournament, besides Striatum and Eminent, was there a team that stood out that you guys played against?
I don't know. Oh yeah, actually, yeah, Team Royal. What I'm saying, yeah, it was a 2-1 series. I was really sweaty.
That was a very good. I watched that. We had kind of a miniature pause gate there too.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching. When I was watching yours, and I had to kick that one. We had somebody that was joining the game 1,000 times.
Yeah, he constantly.
I was just bouncer mode him, and then I was watching the stream match, and that Striatum match was going on at the same time, and somebody lagged out of that, and you know our pause rule, we don't pause after a minute into a game, and that's a rule that is just for the tournament. Our league play matches that are moderated are different because the rules for this tournament were written before the pause feature came out, and they were cleared by Battlefy and Kontrol Freek, so we can't, they don't get manipulated. We stick with what we got. But for the league, obviously, it's different. So you messaged me pause, ? Or whatever, for you wanted to pause, and I thought you were asking about the stream match. So I was like, no, we're not going to pause that. And then when a player lagged out between games, I'm like, no, that we pause. And the whole thing got confusing. But yeah, that was a very good match. Team Royal is obviously a very talented team. I mean, they came in our Final Four last season. I think they kind of like being that underdog, chip on their shoulder. Very close match for sure. DPro, would you say the Team Royal match as well?
I actually don't know who's on Team Royal. Who are they?
That was the Stranger 43, Classic Deception. Who else played with them in the Twitters?
Deems
and Creams, Bean G. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Twitters was a really good fair. He was a big problem for us, but yeah, we countered him. Aaron, thankfully we had Aaron's, and yeah, we took the win.
Yeah, that was a very good match again, and I think that one fan that wanted to keep joining really wanted to see it, but I was not letting them. All right, so other than that, I think we're good. Why don't I give you guys an opportunity to plug yourselves, and then we'll wrap this Twitter up. So, DieClan, where can the people find you?
What are we going to wrap up, Brett?
The podcast.
There we go.
Twitch. You can find me at Twitch at die_clan with 2 N's. Yeah.
Die_clan with 2 N's. How about Twitter?
My Twitter is die. It's the same as my PSN. Die_clan_crush with capital U and crush.
Awesome. DPro, where can they find you?
You can find me under Twitter, just DPro.
DPro. Okay. Awesome. Thank you guys very much for coming on this week. I appreciate it. Any last words you guys would like to say to the viewers, or any shout outs?
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to KillaKon, because I wouldn't be as good as a Reinhardt if it wasn't for him, because he's the best Reinhardt, right? So I always watch him, and I learned from him. So yeah, that's how I became a decent Reinhardt, watching KillaKon.
Cool.
You guys got this bromance going on for sure. DPro, any shout outs before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Golden Bullet. His great graviton surges that really came into play with my pulse bombs.
Yeah,
helped us to win the tournament.
All those World Star plays that I was screaming about, obviously Golden Bullet was on one end of them. He was throwing the alley-oop and you were just dunking it.
Yeah.
So shout outs to Golden Bullet, shout outs to Cabron Wames, shout out to everyone in the community for watching the podcast. Thank you very much. Find me on Twitter at SwaggyBrettYo. Make sure you join the Discord. Follow at the Overguard on Twitch. Also visit twitch.tv/theoverguard for our weekly matches and events. Mike, tell them where to find you and then get us out of here.
You can find me at KillaKon1 on pretty much everything, and then we'll see you guys next week for the next podcast.
Sounds good. See you guys later.